Elliot Clough and David Eickholt here from HawkeyeInsider and here on Swarmcast, representing 24/7 Sports at Big Ten Media Days. Iowa having their appearance today, so recapping things here on this episode. Before we get started, I wanted to make sure that everybody subscribes, leave that rate and review wherever you're listening, and also make sure that you sign up right now at HawkeyeInsider for VIP content. Clough gets you 75, CLOUGH. It's all one word, and that'll get you 75% off your full first year at HawkeyeInsider. All of our VIP content, we have some up from today.
Yep. We have a bunch up today.
Yeah, only more to come, especially with Media Days right around the corner. Plenty of intel coming, so do that today. Now, Big Ten Media Days. Where do you want to start? It was we did our recap video. Yeah.
For the record, I just put on this hat. I did not wear a hat to the actual Big Ten Media Day, and it's been a long day. Okay, this is the first one. We just got back. Been working all day. Relax.
Sparkling water. Anyway,
Gronowski is the obvious starting point. I think.
Yeah.
That was your lead takeaway when we got the chance to talk to everybody, and I think you phrased it well. The humility and the leadership, like everybody continues to rave about that. And it's easy to see why. Even the chances that we've gotten to talk to him on the record, he's incredibly impressive.
Yeah.
And he's respectful. It's very easy to see why teammates have gravitated, and coaches, quite frankly, have gravitated toward him. He's the right guy at the right time. We need to see it on Saturdays and have it translate over. And of course, want to see some progress against Albany, but I'm not going to sit here and type out a 1,000-word column, speaking about the fact that Iowa will have a top 10 offense if they go out there and somehow put up 40 points against Albany. But if they can move the football effectively against Iowa State, that will be a really, really big deal. The other thing I think we need to immediately jump on, Elliot, the wide receivers and the confidence that Kirk really kind of has in them. It was definitely, I want to say eye-opening, but that's about as optimistic as Kirk Ferentz gets regarding a position group. And this is a position group that, let's just face it, it's quite frankly been a failure over the last several years. There's no way to sugarcoat it. It has to be better. I don't think they have any all-conference talent, but, man, the depth that they have and the upside to at least move the passing game forward, it's very, very evident to me.
I think the analogy that he made of the offensive line being how awful it was, however many, a few years ago, and now those guys maturing and growing and being, semifinalists for the Joe Moore Award, possibly even better than that this coming year. Jennings Dunker is on an incredible trajectory. Logan Jones is too. Bo Stevens solid. Cade Peeper's going to be good. Left tackle still a question, but it went from Tyler Linderbaum and nobody else to now
it's amazing
it's pretty
how much
good.
Tyler Linderbaum covered up for everybody. When you really reflect on it.
So the analogy is to see what the offensive line did in a few years and hoping that last season can be a springboard for the wide receiver group who was led by Jacob Gill, who came in from Northwestern. And now it's not just Gill. They return a ton of talent. They add Sam Phillips.
They got Reese Vanderzee.
Yep, he was healthy.
Yep, finally. He had flashes last year, but ultimately he just wasn't big enough to play the X position. No. Now I think he's got the strength to be able to do that.
Yeah.
He's put on some good weight, and he's got confidence too. That's a lot. That's such a big deal as a wide receiver. Yep. You have to have confidence in your own game, especially when you get in those one-on-one matchups. Because even getting a chance to talk to Cohen today, he even said when he gets under an opponent's skin, that helps drive his game forward, and he knows that he has the mental edge. Mm-hmm. So that's something that, I think Reese Vanderzee is going to be able to go out there and prove. Like you said, the Sam Phillips, Jerry at Bowie. I love Dayton Howard if he can piece it together. Again, there's no top tier guy, I think, at this point, but all Iowa needs is several averaged good wide receivers, and the passing game has a chance to take a big, big step forward.
Yeah. We could talk about the running game with that too. Let's stick to the Big Ten Media Days. But it's very clear that there's a different level of confidence in that position group. And I think that some of that is tied to Mark Gronowski too. It's going to be completely, maybe not completely, but it's going to be different this year in terms of the quarterback talent. To revert back to the humility thing, you get a guy who's from the FCS, did just about everything you can do at the FCS level, Walter Payton Award, national championships. This dude is a bona fide winner, coming from a program that's very similar to Iowa. Those Dakota schools are very legit, but he knows it's a different level. 1, 2, I think that's his natural disposition.
Yep.
Just talking to him and seeing interviews and stuff like that he's done otherwise. And it wasn't like, it's not just us reading between the lines. Kirk said it. We've heard it behind the scenes. We shared that with our VIPs.
Yep.
We heard it from Logan. Like what Logan said to me today, I was the only one over there. But what Logan said to me is Mark fits the Iowa football program perfectly.
Yeah.
To hear that, it's just things we didn't hear about the last quarterback. It's things we didn't hear regarding that humble leadership strategy. We didn't hear that before.
Yeah.
We're hearing that with Gronowski's like just a natural, likable dude. Yeah. And that's such a breath of fresh air for that room to also be talented and not just be a good, like, you know what I mean?
That's the thing. Again, he has to go out there and prove it. And you mentioned it's a step up in the competition. I also do think, though, in regards to him, he has to protect himself. We see him in his highlight film. We saw him run over people. He can't do that at the Big Ten level. And I'm not saying he's not capable of doing it, but his body will break down if he tries to do it as often as he did in his previous school. But the other thing that really stood out to me too is Logan Jones. Like the level of maturity and perspective that dude has for his journey. And when he got here several years ago, remember he had a bad knee injury, talked about overcoming the doubt, and talk about a guy who had the world of expectations on him when he never was asked. Like he never asked for it. All the similarities between Tyler Linderbaum and him, both Iowa kids, both wore 65, both great wrestlers in high school, both played defensive line, switched to offensive line. And Kirk even admitted today he wished he put Logan at center during the bowl prep period instead of waiting until the spring. He thinks that would have really helped shape him as he continued to move forward. And I got the chance to talk to him today, and he basically opened up and said, you know what, it really was difficult. And he said, I kind of got a big ego to some degree when I was a starter. Like, I'm a bona fide starter. I've arrived. I've done this. And he said he needed to get knocked on his ass. And that really humbled him. And that really helped give him the perspective that he has now. But just from a leadership standpoint, I think he could go down as an all-time leader in that room. Like, he has that sort of, I hate to use the word aura, but that's just like people just naturally gravitate toward him.
Yeah.
What I mean? Like you listen when he speaks. Mm-hmm. He didn't waste words. And that's something that really, like I noticed today too. I don't know if you did. Cohen Entringer, Ethan Herkett, Logan Jones. There was never a word uttered that was wasted. It all had purpose. It was all intentful. It wasn't fluff. And that's something that you really don't get every single year. So the fact that they did that, I really appreciate. And I do think that Logan Jones knows that there is a lot of expectation on this Iowa offensive line.
I think he does too. Like it really measured the way he talks about the group as a whole today. Not only the guys who are coming back in Jennings and himself and Bo, but he talked about Cade Pieper. Said there are a lot of similarities between those two, which there are. I mean, Cade is a guy who's very athletic, strong as an ox. Like, I think that transition from right guard to center is going to go really well next year.
Yep.
We obviously don't have to talk about that right now, but I think Logan is the perfect mentor for that. I think that, I mean, you mentioned the expectations, like he and Jennings could be, I mean, well, they were preseason all Big Ten, right?
I'd put them there.
They could be on All-American watch lists, right? So
I mean, Logan's got to be what, top 3, at minimum top 5 best center in the country. I would probably say top 3.
Yeah. He's going to be a draft pick. Jennings is going to be a draft pick.
Jennings could go first.
Yeah.
If he has a big year. I mean, he's got that upside. He's got the strength. He has the typical actual right tackle size that the NFL loves.
Yep. So, the talk about left tackle is still there. Like, that's one of my takeaways too. It is a mystery across the board. They don't know who it is. Like, I don't think they would necessarily give it to us straight if they thought they knew who it was right now. Maybe they would. I mean, I don't know.
I'll take it.
Good things about Bryce George. Good things about Jack Dotzler. Good things about Trevor Lauk. They bring similar things to the table, according to Logan. And there's actually, I don't know if we should save this for the VIPs. Maybe we can cut it out if we need to. But Logan threw Cannon Leonard in that group as well.
I didn't even hear you tell me that. I wasn't around. Was I talking to Kirk?
You weren't over there,
then,
but yeah, threw Cannon Leonard in there. Of course, we shared that with our VIPs right after too. But that's interesting. I don't know that from an outsider's perspective, I would really count Cannon Leonard as a competitor.
We got to see what happens in fall camp,
right?
And I do think that you look across the board. We haven't even mentioned Bo Stevens. I mean, that's another guy who has played a lot of football. Like the level of stability and continuity between the actual starting offensive line or what we think it's going to be, I think it's much higher than it's been. And the thing that I've really taken away, and Logan has said this repeatedly, I think a lot of other offensive linemen have as well, the level of respect that George Barnett has gathered from that offensive line room, you can't fake it.
No.
I mean, he went on and on when I got a chance to talk to Logan for a CBS exclusive. He went on and on about the bond that he has with Barnett and how he stayed the course and what he really means to him. And that's just something, again, I think there's such a power in that when you get in the thick of it, when it's, fourth quarter, you need to be inspired. You look over the sideline. He would go to war for that guy, especially in the trenches and the level of physicality that position has. I think it's going to be a big deal. I think it will be a difference maker at some point in the year. I don't know necessarily when, but that's something that I'm definitely going to keep an eye on as well.
Yeah. So that's something that we definitely noted from today.
It's interesting too. I got a text from Sean Bach, who again is supposed to be on vacation, keeps working. Shocker, right? See what Dan Cannell said.
I did see that.
Yes. I think it was one of his hottest takes of the Big Ten year. And it was Mark Gronowski to be a first-team All-Big Ten quarterback.
He said second best in the Big Ten, right?
Yeah, I think he put him first-team All-Conference today.
Okay, who did he put above him? Did you see? Nico? Iamaleava?
Yeah, I don't think you can put Nico there. Not from last year. Dante Moore. No, it's probably Julian Sayin, Ohio State.
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility.
I'd say him. But, I mean, I still think Gronowski, even at his peak, would have the statistics in an Iowa offense to be able to make it happen. But then again, though, like, what's the reason? We'll get into this a lot later, but it's something I want to touch on. I mean, if he goes out there and throws 25 touchdowns and throws 7 picks, but also runs for 4 or 5 scores, that's an incredibly successful year
for an Iowa quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't had anything since Nate Stanley,
right?
But the entirety of the day was interesting too, and something I wanted to really touch on that stood out to me. Like, again, the Cohen Entringer thing is going to be really fun to watch. Because, again, this is a guy who started 1 game. And the fact that the Player Leadership Council voted to send Cohen is a big deal. And you got the chance to speak with him as well for CBS Sports.
Great quote.
Great quote.
Yeah.
Great dude. Walked in, shook everybody's hand, got to know everybody. Not everybody has to do that.
Right.
And I actually was texting some people behind the scenes about Cohen today about some of the things that people were saying. And I had one person write me and said, you're not going to find a person that says a bad word about Cohen. And he said, if they do, I judge them.
Yeah.
And that's probably about as powerful as a quote as you can get. Like that, he has future team captain written all over him potentially next year, right? I mean, he has that sort of vibe about him, and it's very easy to see how he's fit in with the program. Did give us a little crap because he wasn't a 4-star by us, but I pushed for it, quite frankly.
For the record, he also said 29 is old. So
Well, Logan said 30, and then I had to go interview him.
Yeah, that's true. He did.
Yeah, he was on my crap list for that. But yeah, no, I mean, you've been in the media days last couple of years. Did you feel like you got more today than you have in the past couple of years?
Hell yeah.
Okay, you thought so too. Okay, I wasn't. That's the way I was thinking, but I wasn't 100% sure.
There wasn't a player that was there that gave short answers. You know what I mean? Like, it seemed like there was at least 1 or 2 of those from the last few seasons, but Ethan was great. Logan was great. Cohen was
That's why I'm going to get 2 60-year guys and a 4th-year junior, though, right? I mean, these guys have been through the ringer, and I mean, Ethan's got his own journey too, which has been really kind of compelling to watch him. Let's flip over the defensive line real quick, because that is a group that I'm incredibly excited to watch, and the potential is there. But I will say, for the defense, they might have the most pressure among the position groups because you don't have a true cornerback 1 right now, correct?
well, TJ Hall. But
well, I mean, as like a lockdown, like a Josh Jackson,
like
like
a
Cooper
Cooper.
DeJean,
Yeah, no,
like a
they
Desmond. They don't have that.
Nope.
Linebacker, we don't know what to expect. We've heard things behind the scenes. A big part of this year's defense is going to solely rely on the fact, can they get to the quarterback and stop the run at the first level? Mm-hmm. Because in the past, there's been good defensive linemen for Iowa over the last couple of years. Cooper covered up so much. Like, he is covering guys for like 8 seconds. They are not going to be able to do that this year. Mm-hmm. They have to get to the quarterback.
Yeah. And some of that is going to have to be schematic. Are they going to change things?
Because are they going to run a Raider package?
Right. But, I mean, when you look at the group, Ethan Hurkett led the group in sacks and tackles last season. He's back. Max Llewellyn, I think everybody is super high on him right now. Like, that's an NFL. That's an NFL body. That's an NFL type spin. Right?
He was my first breakout player in my breakout series over the summer.
Exactly. You got Aaron Graves back. Bryce Hawthorne has generated some buzz. Brian Allen's healthy again. Kenneth Merriweather has some of that. He has the frame to be really successful. When
I think Ethan Hurkett also said that Hurkett said that he expects Brian Allen to have a big year. Like, he thinks he's gonna be really, really good. I couldn't remember if you were over there or not. People, we gotta realize too, like, we're not there for every little thing. That's why having two of us here has been great.
Yes,
because there's 3 players that go at the same time for 30 minutes, and we kind of just have to. I don't want to say pick your poison, but you have to prioritize and kind of just get everything done at once.
Yep. And some of that had to do with us doing our CBS interviews and stuff like that. But I really liked what we heard from Ethan today. He talked. It's kind of tough when you don't have somebody from a position group that has a lot of question marks because Ethan's a defensive lineman. He's in the defensive lineman room. He's not with the linebackers, but he did get to share a little bit. Cohen got to share a little bit. About that group. Heard a lot of positive things still about that 24 class of linebackers and Cam and Preston and Derek.
On paper, they got some dogs.
They're going to be good.
Things we've heard behind the scenes, too.
Exactly. They're going to be impactful on special teams. Man, we keep routinely hearing good things about this new group, too, of Jaden Harrell, Jackson Rexroth, and Carson Shire. And I just, I need to see it.
Yeah, that's exactly where I'm at. Yeah. We know they've gotten so much spring ball reps over the last few years because that's typically a time where they've like Nick Jackson or Jay Higgins or Jack Campbell rest because they have so much wear and tear on the bodies. And they already know the system. Like, I hate to say it, they don't need it. They need to develop. The people needed to develop the behind them.
They need live reps. Yeah.
They just got to be game reps at that point.
Yeah.
And you had to prepare as much as possible. Like, I mean, that's where Jaden Harrell and the linebacking crew comes in because Jaden Harrell, I think a lot of people are going to, I don't want to say overreading the UCLA performance, but that's the only a lot of big live reps that they have. And he knows it, but he also said that's something he just learns from. And now he understands what real game speed is. And that's something as much as you want to try and practice, you don't replicate it.
No.
And that's why even the smallest like snap counts, especially in season, that's why they can pay dividends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I would say that the trio of Zach Lutmer, Cohen Entringer, and Xavier Wampa have a lot of hype right now. And I think it's deserved too, just to switch position groups to stay on defense. Cohen, he said straight up he doesn't know if he's going to play cash or strong this year. What if you had to guess right now? Because that's a huge conversation. That's a question mark. Zach Lutmer, Cohen Entringer between strong and cash because Xavier is going to play.
I'm happy he's at free. I think that's where he best fits. I really believe that.
If you had to pick right now, who plays where?
I mean, I think you throw Cohen in the strong. I think you put Lutmer. I think you put Lutmer at cash.
Why?
I just think Lutmer right now is a little bit more able to stop the run quicker. I think that he has a different sense of physicality. I also think that Cohen and he can intercept passes over the middle. We've seen a handful of highlights of Lutmer doing crazy things.
That's true.
I think the chemistry and the camaraderie between Xavier and Cohen, I think that makes more sense to me. I think that they're excited about that backfield kind of tangent and that duo back there. I think it personally to me makes a lot more sense. And I think, again, you talk about the safety. I think safeties is a big leadership role as well.
Yeah.
Cohen Entringer knows how to communicate. He's been through this. He knows the defense. I think that's the guy that you want back there being able to read and make the plays and make the calls. Of course, outside Mike. Mike's got the big, obviously the big a lot of that, but he covers up the back end.
So I would actually say the opposite.
Okay.
I'll tell you why. But I honestly think they're going to be great either way. I am very high on Zach.
I mean, you can go either way. That's the thing. Like, they're both versatile enough. They're both flexible enough. You can do it.
Cohen and Zach each got reps as strong. Each got reps as strong last year. But when Xavier was subbed out in the bowl game, who came in to play strong, Zach did.
It was Zach, yep.
When Sebastian was hurt, didn't play against Castro, didn't play against Michigan State, who played Cash?
Yep.
Cohen and Trainer. Yep. So, that's just kind of reading between the lines.
Yeah, that'll be something to watch for.
Yeah, I see what you mean, though, by the chemistry and stuff. Xavier and Cohen came at the same time. We're getting reps together early on in Devo and stuff like that. So
they both talked separately about how excited they would be to play in that backside together.
Yeah. And I think they'll be
not that you make the decision based on what they want, of course. But it does on paper make sense to me.
Right. Talking about the defensive backfield a little bit further, Jalen Watson was a name that was brought up today, and I think you and I and Sean and anybody who's talking about the cornerback position will slot TJ Hall as a CB1. We'll see if he becomes that lockdown corner. But CB2, Deshaun Lee, Shaheed Barros, Jalen Watson, some people have mentioned Rashad Godfrey, myself included.
Yeah.
Like, you just have to bring up those names. But Kirk brought up Jalen Watson specifically today. One play that he made on special teams last year and blocking a gunner on a punt return. And he's a guy that I've been high on for a long time. We've talked about him here on this pod before.
Yeah.
But I'm feeling a little bit more of, maybe we should pay a little bit closer attention.
Yeah. I mean, in my VIP tidbits at a media day, I mentioned that you really got to read between the lines and really listen to what Kirk says, because he will open the door for you, but you got to kick it down. You have to read between the lines. When he says things like that, especially unprompted, that's what you need to take into account. I would say right now that Watson's number 4. Okay. I think he has a chance to battle up to as high as number 2. Yeah, but the 2, 3, 4, I think it's going to be wide open. This is as wide open of a cornerback race, in my opinion, that Iowa's had in definitely quite some time.
Last year was weird.
Last year's just weird,
yeah. With TJ and John Nestor and Deshaun Lee. But I think you probably have to give the immediate favorite, make the immediate favorite Deshaun Lee, just because he has the experience.
Yes, absolutely.
And they love to default to experience.
Yep.
But there's a whole month of camp ahead. And maybe Shaheed Barros comes in and takes that experience from his time at South Dakota and shows up, or maybe Jalen Watson makes some freak plays and it's like, okay, we're going to trust you. I could go either way.
And that, again, that's going to be one of the things I'm really looking for. I mean, outside probably left tackle.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, and this is my tinfoil conspiracy theory. One, I think it's smart Kirk didn't put out a depth chart. Okay. I think it's really, really smart, just because I don't think you want to do it, because I think there's so many open position battles right now. Yeah. Now, I don't know if it doesn't make good to put something out.
Right.
Because at some point, a player or a parent, they're going to see it. They're not going to be happy. I wouldn't want to field any unnecessary phone calls either.
Yeah.
I think right now he's saying you just got to go out there and get out there and earn it. Right. Not that they wouldn't earn it regardless.
Yeah.
But now everybody that's fighting for these spots, they feel like there's a legitimate shot at, and there's nothing out to the media or to the public about where they actually stand.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because think about it. Linebacking, I think we all know the starting 3, but at the same time, they should not be written in permanent marker. No, absolutely not, because they just don't have the experience that we've seen with live reps. Cornerback, I'd even throw TJ Hall in there. Yeah. I think he's CB1, but he hasn't done enough to be written in permanent marker.
Not in gameplay. No.
And then even we're talking about mixing up cash and strong safety.
Right.
You can't permanent marker that. So how many positions on the defense alone can you be 100% sure about?
I mean, you can't even be sure about who's starting in that second D tackle spot.
I agree, but at least that's a good problem to have.
Right.
It's you kind of we've seen enough guys, and at least guys have experience that they played at a high level there. And then offense, wide receiver, I think is wide open outside Jacob Gill and Reese Vanderzee probably. Yeah. Sam Phillips, I think, will emerge into that group, but he still has to go out there and earn it in fall camp. Kamari Moulton's probably got the starting running back spot. Yeah. But then it's between Jazz is probably 2, TJ Washington's probably be 3. I think they'll play all 3 of them. Tight ends, I mean, I just don't have a lot of bodies in there right now.
It's got,
that has to be it.
Yeah.
But again, we're talking about maybe 10 positions written in permanent marker right now.
Yeah.
It doesn't do him any good to put out a depth chart.
You know what else? You pointed this out, and I mean, I noticed it too, is that Kirk made it sound as though he knows who the top 3 quarterbacks are right now.
Yep.
Being obviously Gronowski, like duh. But Hank
I don't know why I'm still getting questions about like they didn't pay Gronowski whatever he's getting paid.
Right.
By the way, again, Miami, Florida,
Yep.
Tech, there were a lot of other Power 4 schools that won. There probably would have been a lot more, but he entered the portal kind of later than a lot of quarterbacks did. So a lot of places already had their quarterback.
Yeah. Yep. And, the lingering health stuff, I think, is probably something that people recognize. But Gronowski 1, Hank Brown 2, and a lot of the conversation on our end regarding who's QB3, I was thinking Jackson Stratton. And I'm sure you were thinking that too. Maybe not.
I was, yeah.
But Kirk more or less said the top 3 are Gronowski, Brown, and Hecklinski.
Yeah.
And Hecklinski hasn't even practiced a live rep.
He's got a lot of high school accolades. Not that it matters the college level, but like this is not some pushover quarterback. Like he came in. I know he went to Wake Forest, and Kirk even said that he just trusted Warren. And he kind of joked with us saying, "I'm sure you guys pieced it together that this is how everything came about." But it makes sense. With all due respect to Jackson Stratton, if he wants to stay at Iowa and do his thing and continue to work, that's fantastic. I was in the minority. I actually was a little bit surprised when he didn't transfer because at least he had film out there.
Yeah.
And where he probably could have gotten 1, a scholarship.
Yeah.
2, get more playing time somewhere else.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have been at the Power 4 level, but like it probably would have been FBS level.
Maybe.
I would say lower division.
Well, when he transferred from Colorado State, I think it was like Utah Tech and maybe Abilene Christian that gave him an offer. But when you look at the FCS and the tiers in the FCS, he probably would have moved up a tier in the FCS, like a UNI kind of thing.
The only thing I would give him this credit, not the only thing, but a big thing would be like if you're an evaluator at like a low FBS school, you're like, okay, this guy started games for Iowa. Yeah. And he won games at Iowa. Yeah. Okay, let's go.
True. Yeah.
Like sometimes there are people like that dumb it down so much.
Right.
But
he didn't. So he's still at Iowa and provided some depth. And with something we said before is that he's the longest tenured quarterback in that room.
That's crazy to me.
Right. Which I think you might have to give him the edge, and maybe Kirk is just Hecklinski's probably going to be the guy. So we'll talk about it as such. But we'll see. He didn't talk about him much today, other than Warren. Was all about him. I asked specifically, but he didn't really give us much.
Hey, I just don't think he has much to give. Right. I think he's probably obviously had conversations with him, gotten to know him a little bit, but at the same time, tape don't lie. You got to go out there and prove it. I think that's why this fall camps can be really, really important. And the other thing that maybe I mentioned on this, but honestly, we talked so much today, we've been writing so much, I kind of spaced it. Dude, Kirk just seems so fired up still.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that everybody, including myself too, like I'm not saying it's not me. We talk every year if he's coming back. This is arguably the first time, in my opinion, where I'm like, this dude's gonna stay for another, not 1 year, like not even 2. Like he's gonna be here for a minimum 3 or 4 years.
He is a football coach. That is who he is. It's the one thing that I say when we get asked questions like that, like at the 24/7 sports thing last night that we got together, is he doesn't have any hobbies. Like he's doesn't play golf.
In the most respectful way. Right. Like he just does this and spends time with his wife.
And
his family.
Doesn't fish. Yeah, he's a family and football guy. And
in baseball.
A little bit of baseball in there. But yeah, this is what he does. This is what he wants to do. And I mean, did he turn 70 or is he turning 70?
I think he turns 70.
I think it's coming up.
It's August 1st next week.
Yes, that's what Ethan's question was.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, that was hilarious. People will probably find that on social media. We'll put it on our board. He tried probably, so he turned 70.
Yes.
He turned 70. Okay. But he tried to ask Kirk about at least 5 times about what he's going to do for his birthday. And reporters kept cutting him off. Yeah. And Elliot and I were trying not to cover it up because we don't want to mess up audio and stuff like that.
Right.
And all of a sudden we just hear Ethan go, got a lot more respect for what you guys do now.
Right.
They're so fast. Yeah, they're so fast.
Yeah. But asked a question. Jay Higgins did it last year. Ethan's carrying.
Oh yeah, then Ferentz is like, "Oh, I'll get back to you." And he goes, "Oh, okay." And he goes, "What are you doing here?"
Right? Yeah. So.
You were going to talk about. He asked him, and Kirk just goes, "Practice."
Yep. Hopefully, have some cake.
Ice cream. Get be with my best friends.
Yeah.
I'm like,
right.
Oh, Kirk.
Yep.
This is very. Yep. That was a Kirkism right there.
It was.
But no, I mean you're right. Though. I mean, there's just a different sense of relief that I feel like he has shown over the last few months. And it's kind of weird to me from the standpoint of when NIL and the portal and all of this came about, because he is an old school football coach.
He is.
And that's not an insult. It's with all of the changes. That's why everybody thought he was gone. Personally, I didn't think the age thing was that big of a deal, because we've seen coaches go to early 80s. And the other part of it, though, too, is like Kirk is in such good shape.
Yeah.
Like he is really well conditioned. Like he's fit.
Yeah.
For being 70 years old.
Yeah.
He's in really, really good shape.
Oh, look at the age of our last two presidents. Like,
Kirk
can coach football, So that's it from me from today. All of our VIPs can check out our other stuff.
Yeah, we got a lot more up there. We're going to have a lot more stories, a little bit more in-depth stories last 2 days. I'm sure Sean will have a few things to say when we all get together. So I'm excited about football, but I'll tell you what, man, between my Nashville trip, between being in Vegas, I am so happy to just be ready to write stories and stay at home and podcast. Like I am, but I'll be locked into the season.
Right.
But I'm ready for that kind of like mental break.
I'm right there with you after just getting engaged. So
and new job.
New job. 2 new jobs.
It's hanging in there.
We're doing all right. But
I think it's worked out really well.
Yeah.
I think people are happy about it.
Yeah.
It's been good. But yeah, I mean, of course, we're gonna be on the boards. We're gonna be doing everything, and we're gonna have a lot more. We'll talk more about Media Day later, but like we felt it was important to just kind of get this out there and while it was fresh in our mind and all that. And you got an early flight. I still don't know why you booked that flight.
Well, it's because it's cheap.
Okay, that's valid.
Sue me.
Anyway, you got a 6 a.m. flight out, and I'll be sleeping in until about noon.
Yes,
but my little bougie Delta flight.
Yes. So that'll do it for us today on this episode of Swarmcast. Again, do not forget that promo code right now. Clough gets you 75. I'm getting you 75% off your entire first year at HawkeyeInsider. That ends tonight at midnight. So got to sign up, join us. We have way more premium content, way more VIP content coming for you. So stay locked in at Swarmcast. Almost messed that up.
We're gonna
Hawkeye Insider. Hawkeye Insider.
He's still in his first month. Give him a break. He's all right.
So join us now. Myself, David, Sean, going to be having way more content, way more VIP content on basketball, women's and men's football. It's going to be a loaded fall, a loaded winter, a loaded spring. We are just getting started. So join us there. Clough gets you 75. And that link will be in, it'll
sounds
be
like YouTube. It'll be in the description. Link will be in the description.
I don't do that stuff, so it'll be on my Twitter. Just find me on Twitter and sign up today. Again, for David Eickholt, I'm Eliot Clough at Eliot Clough on Twitter. And we see you next time.